Caleb Keller, you've crafted up your top 5 contenders at where we stand at this point in the Derby prep season. So without further ado, let's start with that 5 spot.
All right, Renegade fresh off a score there in the Sam F. Davis. You know, this list is a little bit of a mix of merit, what they've done, and also projecting of what they can do. And this horse right now, believe it or not, is bred on the exact same cross as Sovereignty, because Sovereignty was by Into Mischief out of a Bernardini mare. Well, you got to reach down to the second dam of this horse, Dame Dorothy, who Todd Pletcher also trained. She was by Bernardini. So another Into Mischief out of a Bernardini mare and came rolling off the turn. He's got a full head of steam. He's got his old nemesis, Paladin. I really think that Paladin and Renegade are similar to Sierra Leone and Dornoch from years ago, and Rapoli's got a real runner for distance.
Renegade can run, as we saw there, taking out the Sam F. Davis, and enough to hold that 5 spot. Let's take it a little further. Number 4 on your list.
Well, you know the expectations were high for Brandt, who was undefeated and a Grade 1 winner, where the horse got beat a length in the Jewel, and everybody jumped off the wagon. You know, he just got beat 1 length. He's by Gunrunner. He's one of the fastest horses in the crop. He's one of the most expensive horses in the crop. He's going out for Gunrunner, who usually they get better in time. I've noticed this year they're taking the works a little bit slower, trying to reach out and see if they can get this distance. They also hung the carrot. They could go to the Virginia Derby with this horse. That was a bit unexpected, but nevertheless, the talent's there. They said he was a world beater before he started, and we don't know what the 3-year-old season has to hold just yet.
With a big price tag comes big expectations, and we certainly still hold that bar pretty high for Brandt in that 4 spot. Let's take it to the trifecta in number 3.
Number 3, Paladin, right now, he's the leader on the points trail, and he's actually the only horse right now that's guaranteed a spot with those 60 points. And I really like this horse based on the speed that they have early, tactical, the fact they can be in a striking position. And here's the thing. I have drawn the comparisons to Sierra Leone. Same sire, same connections, same path. I don't know if he's quite Sierra Leone, because Tyler Gaffleone, who rode Sierra Leone, said, "This is the best horse I've ever ridden." And if you watch the commercial for Sierra Leone, Chad Brown said, "This is the best horse I've ever trained." So anything short of being the best horse Chad Brown's ever had might be a little bit less than Sierra Leone, but the horse does it the right way. Look at him lower the head, come on down the alley to get the victory. One tiny concern in the pedigree, horse out of a Tappet mare. And Tappet, as great as he's been as a sire, they have not excelled the Tappets at Churchill Downs, namely in the Derby. But hard to find a knock on a horse that's undefeated and has great cruising speed.
And at the top of the points standings, this year's winner of the Risen Star, that being Paladin. I really thought maybe hold one of the top 2 spots, so I need to know. Number 2.
Number 2 is a quick rising Nearly. Somehow this horse ran 6 out of 6 on debut with very little excuse. So that tells me, now that he's won 3 in a row, that he's really going off the charts. Look at this guy. He's a not this time very long and imposing. I continue to say that Johnny Velasquez flew down to Florida just for 1 day to break the maiden. And in this race, the Holy Bull, he withstood a duel. Check out that horse back there in the green. That's Cannoneer. That was one of the fastest horses at Churchill in the fall, and the horse buried Cannoneer on a speed duel and goes right on down the track. You know that Pletcher owns Gulfstream Park this time of year. How about Johnny Velasquez? He had 4 winners in the Derby across the wire in a 10-year span in his mid-50s and still riding in elite form. And this horse has some of the best buyers so far on the trail.
Team Todd, gonna like what they have in the barn there with Nearly. Without further suspense, number 1 spot for your Derby contenders and where we stand at this point.
Well, to me, Litmus Test has gained merit. He has had a lot of placings in big races, but I'm looking at that projection part of the puzzle. And this horse, Litmus Test, won the Los Al Futurity. The Los Al Futurity gave us last year's favorite in journalism. They say, oh, well, journalism was a different type. Litmus Test went faster in the Los Alamitos Futurity than journalism, and he's just getting better. This was not that tough of a field. I'm not saying that beating Blacksmith is anything amazing, but the horse did it very easily. Again, the time and the buyer was actually considerably better than journalism, who won this race the year prior, and he's by Nyquist out of an AP&E mare. When you get Nyquist and AP&E, horses can run a really long distance. And when I watched the film on this horse, when he ran in the Del Mar Futurity, he was very wide and got beat 4 lengths to Brandt. Well, in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, he was wide again and got beat a neck to Brandt. And also, in this race, the picture that we're going to show you here behind us, he went to the Futurity there at Keeneland and went to the lead against Ted Noffey. He got beat 5 lengths to Ted Noffey in this race, and the next race, the Juvenile, got beat a length So this horse is calming along nicely. And last thing, Dubs, every race of his career, the Beyer speed figure has gotten better.
Watch out with more improvement. Litmus test could be very tough to catch. There is the top 5 again. It's Renegade, Brandt, Paladin, Nearly, and Litmus test holding that number 1 spot for Caleb Keller. Sound off. Let us know. Tag us at Fendel Racing. Are you seeing it the same as Caleb? Is there a horse on the outside that should be in that we may have missed? Love the top 5, CK.